So I walk into the Mandarin Oriental in New York. If you know, you know. It's Columbus Circle, overlooking Central Park, views of the New York skyline. Lights are low, big comfortable couches. I mean, the vibe is like, no need to ask, he's the smooth operator. Yeah, there's beautiful men and women. It's powerful in there. I mean, it's sexy. And I'm there to meet Natalia. I had met Natalia a couple of weeks earlier in New York. I got her number, and when I called her up to see if we could get together, she goes, I'd love to, Neville. Meet me for happy hour at the Mandarin Oriental. So, you know, I'm walking in here like I know what I'm doing, and I just remember that she was like Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada, you know, after she leveled up. I mean, drip was tight. I mean, hair pulled back, sophisticated bun, and I order a Manhattan. I'm in New York, of course. And as I sip on that, she tells me her story, how she was born and raised in New York, had worked as a model in Italy, and now had her own market research company where she would travel all over the world and do trend tracking, what's going on in cosmetics, fashion, music, lifestyle, and then would package that up and sell that to L'Oreal, Maybelline, Yves Saint Laurent. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, brains and beauty. I'm totally mesmerized, but I have a colleague that I have to meet uptown for dinner, but I don't want to leave Natalia, so I'm like, Natalia, come with. And she leans over, puts her hand on my leg, half whispers in my ear, I'd love to, Neville. At that point, I knew I'd kill for the coochie. And I mean, literally, if you had given me a gun, I would have shot the people in there. So I am ready to go. We pay the bill, get down, go, get in the cab. Now, once we get in the cab, I don't know who made the first move, but our lips met, our tongues got to dancing. Our bodies was pressed tight against each other, and we made out for 25 blocks going uptown in the back of this cab. It was hot. We put on a show. And all I'm thinking is, I'm fucking tonight. We get to the restaurant, and we get out, and we go in, and she collapses. She faints right there. So, you know, I help her over to a chair, and turns out she had some shots that day getting ready to go on a trip. And then the alcohol and, of course, kissing me, that was a little overwhelming. So, I was a gentleman and got her home safely, obviously a little disappointed, but she called me first thing the next day. Neville, I'm so sorry, but we must finish our date. You know I'm going out of the country. Why don't you meet me in Budapest? I'm like, that's in Hungary, right? We're Budapest, Hungary. So I'm like, well, you know, I'm working for myself then, so I can put a few clients aside, and I look, my credit card is not maxed out, so, okay. I ask a couple of my boys, they're like, oh, you gotta do it, you gotta do it. And, you know, I knew she was like out of my league, but now I was getting called up to the majors, right? I'm the international lover. Puff Daddy ain't got nothing on me. So I get on the plane, I arrive in Budapest, I walk into the hotel, and I see her. And she looks, I mean, so confident, I mean, haughty. You know, I guess that's from being a model, you know, she's used to privilege and people serving her. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know that movie Basic Instinct? And you know, the chick, Sharon Stone, like, she'll give you that freaky sex, but you gotta keep your eye open because she might cut your throat in the middle of the night. So I'm a little scared because, but it actually worked to our benefit because the first room we had was a little small, and so she said, oh, no, we need another room. So we go to the second room, and really that room kind of stunk. I mean, kind of a combination of smoke and BO. So we go to a third room. Now I'm, getting a little like antsy, and, the management is like, hey, and she kind of gets to the third room and goes, oh, I don't like the vibe. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now I'm getting a little apprehensive. Like, what's going on here? I mean, all of a sudden she's become the ugly American. Like, I need this and I want that. It's before Karen was even invented. And so I'm a little concerned, but hey, we get to another room and it's great. I mean, it's a great room, but now we don't really have a lot of time because we have dinner reservations. And so we get dressed in a hurry and we go to a restaurant, and there's a couple of Hungarian ladies sitting next to us, and we get our menus. And the next thing you know, Natalia abruptly turns and says, please be quiet. You're speaking in that foreign language and you're irritating me, and I cannot enjoy my dinner if you don't be quiet. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I think technically we're speaking the foreign language. I mean, we're in Hungary, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not really sure I really like her. But I'm on an assignment. I know, it's like I'm on it like white on rice. Like a dog with a bone, like a man with a boner. So I'm like, I can make this work. I can make this work. We have dinner and we go back to the room, and it's at last, yes. Neville, I'm on my period. Okay, well, you can help a brother out, right? I mean, come on, like we here. She says, oh no, you don't understand. I practice Kabbalah, and that religion doesn't allow me to have any physical or sexual contact during this time of the month. I am angry. I'm frustrated. I am humiliated. I am horny. I'm laying here, don't know what to do. I've spent this money. I've taken the time. I've traveled. I am sitting here now with a lesson. All that glitters is not gold. But if it glitters and it calls me, I'm going to Budapest.